Hi guys, John here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for clicking view. I've come to my friend John's farm. He's got a little bit of woodlands that he lets me go and have a play on now and again. So I've managed to find a little bit of time to get down here. So I'm going to go for an overnighter, just one overnighter. Luckily I don't have anything to get up too early for in the morning, so I can take my time in the morning getting ready as well. Normally I've got to get up and straight out in the mornings, but I can take my time. I'm here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still very sunny, still very warm, and this time of year it doesn't get dark till about 8-9 o'clock ish, something like that. So I got plenty of time to do stuff. I've got a few things I'd like to do down there today, but yeah, first things first, got to get down there, get the essentials set up, and then we'll go from there. Just got in the woods now. Just come from my friend's farm, walking down into the woods. As you can see, it's green everywhere. Last time I came, which was only 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, this was all brown, all deaf and everything. There was no, none of this green, none of the flowers, nothing like that. A little bit of time, a little bit of sunlight, because we've had some good weather the last couple of weeks, and it's just all come to life. It's beautiful. So yeah, we're just going to head down now through the woods. I don't know if you remember from the first video I put up, I did mention that there's a couple of ways of getting to the camp that I'm going to. One of the ways is through the woods, and then the other way is actually going round the woods through the fields, which is a route I do take sometimes if I'm short on time. Today I'm not. As I say, it's 10 past 4 now. Got plenty of sunshine. You can see it coming through the trees there. There's plenty of sunshine. It's going to be light for a good few hours yet. So I'm going to go through the woods, and I'm going to scout some firewood on the way as well. I don't have my bow saw with me. That's down in camp, this one that I made down there, and I leave it down there. If I do see a brilliant piece of firewood that I just have to have, I do have the axe on the back of the rucksack, so I can take it down if I need to, or I'll just head down and I'll come back for it later. It'll give me something to do later. So yeah, so catch up with you in a little bit. As you can see, guys, it's quite thick in places walking through here. Typically I would come into a little opening as I say that. But there's a lot of these, I believe they're larch trees. This is not a naturally formed wood. This was planted about 20-30 years ago, I believe, with the intention of these larch trees being used and sold for firewood. But as I say, at the moment, for my purposes, serves me fantastically, and I've just got to get through them. I don't know if you can hear, the birds are singing. They're just up above my head, but I can't quite see them. Best sound in the world. Oh, up there somewhere. Probably telling each other that I'm walking around in it. So we'll keep moving so we don't spook them too much. Like I said, I'm going to scout out for some firewood as I go along. Just come across this nice bit of dead stand in here. In my previous videos I did put a little way of identifying what's dead standing and what's not. For first off, there's nothing growing on it at all. You can go all the way up, there's no new branches at the top. Some of these trees, they sort of look quite barren on the bottoms, but if you go up the tops you can see new fresh green leaves trying to get up to the top of the canopy. This one's got nothing on it. And I also did the old knife test, just took a little bit off the bark, and you can see it's all brown, it's dry, it's hard, it's definitely dead. You can actually do that on live trees as well. It won't make a big difference as long as you only take a tiny little bit off. But yeah, that one's dead, so I'm going to take that one. And I've also seen a lovely dead offshoot on that one as well, which will serve my purposes lovely. So I am quite far from camp. I'm on the other end of the little woods that I'm in. So rather than trek all the way back up, because it's very steep to get there, I'm going to take these down. I'm going to drag them down with me now. this, as I said, I'm going to take this firewood. It actually looks like it might be loose enough I can pull it down. We'll have a look, see. Here we go. Yeah, she just comes straight out the ground. Shows that she's lovely and dry and ready for firewood. Oh, bits and pieces falling. There you go. Well, there's a bit of root with it as well. We'll see if we can do the same thing. This other branch over here. Just turn the camera a little bit. There you go. See if she'll come off as well. If she won't, then we'll get it down. We'll either use the axe or the small saw. Myself out the way. Timber! Excellent. That's firewood sorted. So I've got to my camping area. This is a spot where I usually come on half, doing a few bits and pieces, different projects. So should really get finished. But you can't really see it on the camera. But as I've got here, I just saw in there all the dandelion seeds are just flying through the air. Doesn't show up on the camera, but there's absolutely loads of them, and it's a very weird sight. I've never seen it before, but it's quite an eerie thing to walk into camp and find. It's almost like little fairies flying around. But yeah, it's quite cool. As I say, unfortunately, camera's not good enough. You can't quite pick it up. And if you go up to the trees, you can see they're all caught in the trees and the spiders' webs. It's quite cool. Just stopping to have a little drink, rehydrate myself before I actually start doing any work, setting anything up. As I say, I've got loads of time before it starts to get dark, so I don't need to rush with anything. Very important, guys. Rehydrate whenever you get the chance. I know I've made the mistake before, and a lot of people do it, especially people who are new to going out and camping into the woods, is that most people come into the woods already dehydrated. As I say, I've done it myself before. You know, haven't had enough to drink before I've set off, gone for a couple of mile hike, getting into where I'm going, set everything up, and then you sit down and you're like, well, you realise you haven't had anything to drink for ages. So very important. Take the time. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the whole reason we come to the woods, is to relax. Take the time, sit down, have a drink of water. Obviously it'd be different if you were in a survival situation, but I'm not. So I've got plenty of time. I can drink what I've brought in with me. There's a water source just down by the side of my camp. So it's not a problem for me to go and fetch some water, boil it up, let it cool down and drink that later, so I can drink all of this. And as I say, before I came, necked a bottle of water just to make sure that I was hydrated before I came in, because it is quite warm as well at the moment, so yeah. Always drink plenty of water. Just had a big gust of wind blow through. I don't know if you could see them, all the dandelion seeds. Just had a big cloud of them. Oh, there they are. Big cloud of them coming through. It's I know I'm going on about it, but it's really weird. It's really cool to watch, but it's not something you see every day. Score one for going to the woods. Right there, guys, I've got my fire going now. There's not too many bugs in the area, thankfully, today. But any bugs that are in the area, so we'll keep them away. I've friend coming down in a little bit. He's going to come, we're going to have a bit of food together. I don't know if you can see, but I've set up my tarp and my hammock in the back. So yeah, so just waiting for the fire to go now, make some coals, and we can cook a bit of food. I thought I'd do a little bit of a camp project while the fire is just getting going properly. I've got this tripod here that I use for a camp chair. I normally bring a piece of old hammock, it's like parachute material that I use for a camp chair. I tie it up at the top, put a piece of wood across the bottom and then just sink into it. But what I want to do is I want to make a camp chair that's a bit more permanent, and I haven't got to bring anything into camp with me. I can just come down and sit on it. So I'm going to recycle these pieces of wood, and we'll see how it goes. Right then guys, as promised, I've taken that old chair apart and used it to make a new one. So there it is. And also, as I said, my mate John's come down. Hi John.
Hi mate.
He's going to demonstrate the chair in use.
Come on then. Maybe I should film you doing it.
There we go.
Lovely.
How comfy is that, mate?
It is comfy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Could do with being a little bit bigger though, I think, couldn't it?
Sat in the smoke.
Just a little bit bigger. But yeah, nice and simple. I cut four lengths. These ones here. Could do with making them a bit longer. Just trim the edges so they'd fit, tied them up. Slid one inside the other, a couple of cross pieces. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. I'm going to make another one at some point. So we've got some food on the fire now. Let the flames go down a little bit. Go a bit closer to show you without burning my hands, hopefully. Probably going to be more difficult than I think it is. I don't know if you can see, but I've got my grill there, but what I've done is I've taken some tent pegs and just bent them into shape to rest the grill on, just because I find resting it on a couple of logs isn't the easiest way to do it, to be honest, because the logs burn and they move and then everything falls in the fire and it's too close to the fire. So I thought I'd give that a go. As it turns out, they're pretty good, but not as practical as I was thinking. I did warm my hands a little bit trying to get them in the right position, but they're there now, cooking. That's John's steak on there. I'm going to put some burgers on there in a bit. I've got some nice campfire potatoes in the foil cooking.
Saved it.
There you go. John's just tucking into his nice steak. His nice little log plate. How does that look, John?
It is cooked perfectly.
Oh, look at that.
Mm.
That's the way. Better than Bear Grylls food.
Mm.
Here we go. That's Big John's dinner. Some nice burgers, campfire potatoes, peppers, onions, a little bit of chorizo as well. Give it a little kick. Can't get any better than that. Don't know if you can hear the birds chirping. There was an owl a minute ago hooting. I think he lives up in the tree just up there, actually, not far from my camp. Definitely some squirrels here. Saw them running around earlier. But it's just such a nice, relaxing night. It's really warm, to be honest. I've still got the fire going, but only because I was using it to cook on earlier. Don't really need it anymore. Definitely don't need it for warmth. It's so warm here tonight. I think I'm probably going to end up wishing that I brought my thinner sleeping bag, to be honest with you. Because the one that I've got is down to -20 it goes. So it gets quite warm in there. But we'll see how it goes. If it gets too hot, we'll just open her up. But yeah, I brought a book with me to read. I just thought, right, I've done all my little bits and pieces that I wanted to do today and made myself a new camp chair. Set up my camp and everything, cut up firewood, cooked dinner. Me and John had dinner. He's gone home now. He decided not to stay the night. But yeah, I was going to sit and read with the hot chocolate, and I just can't do anything except just sit and listen. It's such a peaceful place to sit, and I would recommend it to anyone. I know I'm babbling a bit now, but yeah, there's no feeling like it. Dinner cooked on the fire. Listen to that, it's just peaceful. It's just, apart from the birds, it's absolute birds on the water running, it's absolute silence, but it's the sort of sounds that you can just put up with. Yeah, love it. It's 10:05 now. It's not completely dark outside, but obviously being in the woods it is darker. Light started to go really about half an hour ago. Started to go properly. And it's, like I said before, it's been really warm today. I've literally only just put my fleece on now. And that's only because there's a little bit of a breeze. I don't know if you can hear it, but you know, it's just all rustling in the trees at the top there. There's a couple of owls have come to life as well now that it's gone dark. So I'm hoping I might hear them a little bit. I'm sat in my hammock now, under my tarp. Starting to sort of get a bit tired now, so I think I'm gonna head to bed in a little bit. Need to put my bug net up first before I go, just to keep any little bugs off in the night, and yeah, have a nice little sleep. Hopefully. Hopefully it won't be too cold. I've made a little adjustment to my my underquilt, which is a homemade underquilt. So obviously every time I use it, I'm learning something new about it, or something that needs doing with it. But I've put some little ties on it, which tie onto my hammock. My DD hammock has got little loops where the DD underquilt clips onto. So on my underquilt, I've just attached a bit of paracord and tied it to those little tie-out points, and hopefully it'll keep the sides up in the night, because that's the only thing I've really struggled with when I've used the underquilt in the past, because I do prefer the underquilt to having a pad in there, because the pad only keeps the bottom of your back warm. The sides of your body are still exposed to the cold, whereas the underquilt stops all the cold getting in. But as I say, because it's been slipping in the night, I've been getting a bit cold, so I've tied those up, so hopefully tonight now I won't notice that, and I'll have a cracking sleep. So yeah, hopefully we'll sleep well, and we'll get back with you in the morning. See you guys. Morning guys, just got home now from camp. Apologies I haven't got any footage of the things I did this morning, sort of making breakfast and packing camp up and stuff, but my battery died in the night. Literally only just managed to charge it now in the car on the way home. Thanks for joining in, hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment, let me know if you did or you didn't. Press like, press subscribe, and we'll get some more videos up as soon as possible. Cheers guys, bye.